this assignment.
That's the one. So, anyways, what I was saying is that if you go all the way over to column AD, you can see what will be transferring to the workers, right? So all these calculations basically just give you on column AD is the actual, basically the work assignment. I know the work group, right? And then you have the assignment or the deliverable on column AE. Column AF is the estimated number of hours to complete the work. And then you have the work type of whether it's VA work or normal work. And then this is the amount of money. So
Time for
AH,
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
so AH is the total amount of money that's available per assignment. So if you do each assignment,
$2.
what?
I'm seeing like trust mini and it says $2.
Yeah, so that's the amount of money that's available per assignment. Okay, and then you have on column AI is the number of times that the assignment needs to be done. And
AI.
then you have on AG the total amount of money available. So right now we're at about $1,000, which works out to about $700 or $650 of actual worker payroll. All right, so we're still really, really low right now, and
Mm-hmm.
so our goal is to try to increase this amount and find more work and get the work updated. Like overall, this would represent
Mm-hmm.
less than 10% of the work. So there's definitely a lot more work that's available to be done that we can continue to add to this list to get a higher amount of money available for our budgets. Okay, does that sort of make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have any
This.
questions?
No, I think it's clear enough that these are the amounts assigned for each client responsibility, and that will be added along as we get more income. Am I correct?
Well, you mean external? We need more external and network like client money. So the
Mm-hmm.
main reasons why these are so low is because we just don't have any money. Like the clients don't have any money to pay
Yeah.
anything. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
what's cool about these calculations is that the calculations are based on the available money, so that
Yeah.
if the workers choose to do the work for the client, it can help bring in more money in the future, and then the amounts can increase and go up. And also, when we add in the new client will add a ton of money because there'll be another many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars available. Okay, the only other thing I would mention here is on line Y. We have the executive work. So there's a line W is the total monthly amount, which is more than
Mm-hmm.
just is for the executive and the workers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is important to note that basically we're looking at totals for both the executive because I'm trying to calculate in like how to make sure that I'm getting paid as well.
Time to pause.
Yeah, of
Please
course.
stop.
And so it
Close
looks,
your
and so
eyes.
column
Count.
V,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
so column V is a very important agreement where depending on the type of work, whether it's VA work or normal work, would be the percentage amount that goes to the team, to the workers versus to the executive, right? So there's always like a small amount that goes to either the workers or the executive because we're all working together. But the idea is that some things there's a lot more executive work and some things have a lot more normal work. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So, and that's also an update I don't think Lucy has seen. So, Lucy, do you have any questions on that?
No.
No. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but
So,
I know I really like this column. I really like this spreadsheet. At least it simplifies and equally states out which is VA, which is normal work. Like this column U. At least here it makes you get more organized. You know exactly which one is VA and which one is normal work. At least this spreadsheet is
yeah,
nice.
and
I
the
like it.
minimum amount of work or value available is going to be uh, usually $3. You know, there could be certain situations where it's only $2 or even $1, depending on bonus. But for a normal thing that has like a you know, it'd be $1 for bonus, $1 for the work, and $1 for the executive. So that would be the minimum is $3 to make sure that everything is covered. So if it's less than $3, it means there's no bonus, right? Or there's no executive work. Okay. So
Okay, Jay. So
mhm.
okay. So for example, if I schedule on the VA, which is certain client, or let me just say I schedule for VA, which is co-op 2.0, it means which is a VA work, and that gets done. We did the VA work, meaning I'll be having $1 for that.
Well, you would get a $1 bonus on top of the money for the team. So in this case, for $3, you're looking at $1 for the team, $1 for the individual bonus, and $1 for the executive review.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So it's also good to just think about what we're doing right now. So the work we're doing right
Mhm.
now is going to be under the old budget. So you guys are just going to track your time and get some pay for that. So,
Mhm.
um, but what we're doing right now is on line 4. Okay. So line 4,
Mhm.
this is setting the client potential income budget. We're doing option 2. Okay. So here, what we can see
Mhm.
is that, you know, in our new budget, there's
Time to
about
take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
there's about $5,000, and we would want to do this 10 times per month. So
Mhm.
if we do this and we complete it all and we verify it all, there's very little money available for each one. But if we do all of it, it's going to be $18 total. So if you look
Mhm.
at this, we are looking at doing one, two, three, three. So I think we're doing
Mhm.
3 of them. So it's about $10 worth of value. Again, that's very, very low, but at least it is um, has clarity in terms of what the actual value is. Because I mean, this doesn't actually complete any work. This is just setting up the potential income so that we can get focused on
Mhm.
the work. So it is technically a deliverable, but it's not particularly valuable. You know, so the goal here is trying to figure out how we can increase the value and decrease the hours. So the more we can decrease the hours and increase the amount of money we have, the more value there is for workers. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah. So there's a lot more calculations to do here to estimate the hours correctly, to estimate the totals, finding more money. So anyways, I think that is pretty much it. Any other questions, Lucy or Tay? And let's take a break. When we come back, we can get focused on the client funds.
I was asking where can we track it on our spreadsheet? Is it under 2.0, club 2.0?
To for this particular work that we're doing now,
Yeah.
so this would go under UMCUS, right? Because we're doing client coordination, client work scope. So we're doing contracts, right? So this is client relations and client contracts.
Okay.
So if you don't know what that is, I can try to look it up for you. But obviously, next month in the future, we're going to be changing everything to be deliverables instead of just categories. So over time, we're going to evolve all of the different
Mhm.
assignments on our tracking. So we can track the time for individual deliverables, but we'll also have some flexibility at the beginning. All right, so we're going down to UMCA. So this would be either 155 or 157.
150. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Thank
right,
you.
let's take a break and then we can come back and get focused on the client funds. Okay.
Okay.
Shift. Okay, Jay. Okay.
And the break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I'm back.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
All right, I'm back.
Mm, yeah.
So as far as the client funds, it's really important to understand, how much money is available, right? And where the money is. So in our new model, every time we reduce the total number of hours, we can increase the funds. So for example, for the entire Durson, everything, we're estimating around 10,000 hours of work that's needed
Mm-hmm.
per year, right?
Yeah.
So if we use the 10,000 hours, the overall calculation means that the money available is very low, right?
Yes.
So one very important calculation is the time calcs. So this would be the breakdown of the amount of time per client. So that's this one right here. So if we say there's 10,000 hours total, how much value is there in each of these? So there's 4 primary clients right now that we're looking at. I think Umkas
That's physicality.
is so this is overall work. So activity trust is basically the money like we already had before, right? And then the charity orb is the
Mm-hmm.
money that's in the nonprofits. So the for-profit is the
Ah,
one that we
okay.
have no money. We already know that the co-op has very little money, but we do with our new model. Oh, this is a really important thing to understand, Ate. You don't like
Mm-hmm.
Lucy. Lucy already understands this. Is that there in this new model? There's no difference between the co-op and our internal operations and the client work. It's all exactly the same work, right? Internal operations for another organization is client work for us, and vice versa. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I didn't understand.
So there's when you're talking about what client work is,
Mm-hmm.
when we do client work, we're just doing internal operations for a different organization. Because for
Like
them,
the taxes.
for that organization, it's internal operations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time for
But then that organization
Please
is
stop
paying
and
us
get
to do the work
ready.
for them
Now
to
inhale.
make
One,
domestic client work.
2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So the same thing would be true for between the teams. If FQN didn't want to do its payroll anymore and it wanted to pay, work continuity group to do the payroll for them or for you, that would be
Mm-hmm.
like client for them, right? That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the only difference between internal operations and client work is just like who is doing the work and for what reason, right?
Okay.
So as far as our co-op goes, we know we have very little money, but
Mm-hmm.
we do know that we have a lot of work to do for ourselves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that's the majority of the work is internal operations. So we need to do work to figure out how to do the client work to bring in the money to pay for the internal operations because we have to do the internal operations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when we look at the co-op, we need to get a loan. So let's say we get a loan or whatever for $350. So at least we have some money to get started with, and we multiply that by 12 months, depending on how much time we want to do. That would give a kind of breakdown for that. Yeah, the longer that we go for our internal operations, the more savings we'll create. So over time, we can look at for all of the other organizations, we always do a minimum of 1 year budget. So Activity Trust, we're saying we might be able to pull together This is activity unity trust, right? So with the unity, as long as we are getting all the work done, we can start using some of that other money. So there may be like $5,000 there. The
Mm-hmm.
charity orb, we know there's a lot of money there. So there's like $9,000. And for the trust activity, so let's put these in a different direction. So if we take activity, there's very little money in activity, but we can organize the money and split it up into different client work pools, um, to increase the amount of money available for the workers, right?
Yes, Jay.
So we could say, okay, there's $5,500 available for the overall work, which is a massive amount of time. But why don't we reduce that and say, okay,
Pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
we can reduce that and say, okay, there's $4,000 available for the overall activity work. And then for the POS work and the assets, we could say there is $1,500 for the POS assets work, right? So then there'll be a lot more value for doing the work that we know is going to bring in more money because we know there's more budgets available for that. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
So these are the four primary work assignments that we're working with. So we want to organize the hours correctly. So we want to estimate the number of hours for each one. Does that make sense, or should I just do it? Or...
So you want us to organize the work as for each of these, the co-op, the charity, the activity, and the trust POS.
Well, we're estimating 10,000 hours for everything. The question is just the percentages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the co-op we put at 50%. So I don't know if that's still going to be 50%. The charity orb we put at 15%.
Percent.
So you can see how the
Ac-
charity orb has very few
activity
hours but has a
35.
lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So the work we do for the charity orb is going to be more valuable because there's less hours and more money available. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
So the activity unity trust we said
35.
that's going to be around 35%. Then maybe we're saying that the trust is going to be the trust for POS would maybe or assets, right? Let's call it trust. I don't know. Let's say canopy or something, and canopy
Okay.
or no, even better. S SIM diverge root.
Mm-hmm. Team effort. That's asset.
So this is going to determine the
50.
total value that's
Mm-hmm.
available um, per assignment, right?
Charity is 9.
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
So I think hopefully we can reduce the client work a little bit. Let's try to bring the client work down. I mean, the co-op work down a little bit. So we'll say 45% for the co-op,
Mm-hmm.
30 or
30 for active
30% for activity unity,
activity.
and sim will be 10%. So this would be the new breakdown for. So at this point, so then
Okay.
we look at the amount of money available. So then you have money available.
Yes.
So those are the hours. Then if you look at the money, estimated hours money. So co-op, we know it's like maybe $350.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then charity orb, we said 9,000.
9,000.
Activity unity, we said 4,000. But we're going to be multiplying this by 12 for the co-op. So that's going to be a total of $18,000.
I copy it down to the.
Okay. So now we're gonna be going through and updating this. So the only thing that's missing here is the new UET work.
Yeah, it's not
Wait.
there.
So we're going to be able to increase the amount of money available for UET, UMC, all that kind of stuff by a lot in multimedia. But we haven't
What's
done
UE? What's UET?
that's for the umbrella token.
Ah, okay.
So everything tokens, right? So UET is going to be like all of the tokens and coordinating all of the money and value related to the equity assets. And
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to have um, the umbrella media company is going to oversee all of our multimedia and social media and communications with the public for public accountability. Okay, so between those two, that's going to be the most for-profit value that we're going to have moving forward in the future. And I think those two things should take care of everything that we need, right?
Yeah,
Like I can't think of anything else that we need besides that. But if you think of something, let me know because then we
Time to
need to
pause. Please stop.
budget it.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your
Because
eyes.
we're talking about putting basically like half of our money into the tokens and organizing all of our equity assets and half of the money into the social media and public outreach. And I think that should take care of it, right? If we put half our money in this in the assets and making more money, and then half of our money into communicating with the public, that should cover everything that we need to be done. But I don't know, I could be wrong. So if you think of anything, let me know.
Okay.
So anyway, so for now, that's just basically 0, 0, 0. So I'm just ignoring that and not putting it in. So do you want me to share my screen, or can you follow me if I put all this information into our spreadsheet? So if we go back to the actual spreadsheet in the priorities assignment list, we need to put all this new information in. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
So the first thing
yeah,
I'm going to do is update the client funds. This column A. So we just agreed that the new client, so there's the co-op, the
Yes,
charity org,
column A.
the activity trust, activity unity trust, and then we have sim diverge root. So the very
mm,
first one for A, I'm going to put under sim diverge root because this is the trust mini endowment.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
The trusts are all overseen, or all of the sim. Well, let's just call this like um, trust slash sim. Or okay, that'll work. So then here we call this activity unity trust. So we have sim diverge root trust.
Okay.
So that's kind of like assets
The one
trust.
is
And
charity.
this one, and then the only other one is the UET activity. So I'm gonna organize that by saying, okay, we have activity unity, and then we have activity unity UET. Okay, so this one we're gonna make orange
Mm-hmm.
because we know that it is gonna get more valuable. So let's keep these different colors just so we can kind of keep. Well, it shouldn't matter too much. The colors help. So we have trust orb. So the trust orb, we're just gonna switch to sim. Trust orb. Sim. Trust orb. Perfect. Okay. Let's make that one green. Anything else for the trust orb is gonna go down here. So all these are gonna be part of the
Time
trust
for
orb.
breath. Please stop and get ready.
Mm.
Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2.
So the
Exhale.
co-op,
Relax.
the co-op is going to need some sort of like loan or investment that we're going to need to coordinate and figure out before there's going to be any money available for that. So that
Okay.
looks good. Now let's organize this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we have all the activity and trust. Wait, no, that's wrong.
Trust
The unity
up.
trust. Supposed
Jay,
to.
is it called trust up or charity up?
What are you talking about?
It's called trust.
From our note, okay, because I'm seeing from our note is charity up. I don't know if there's a difference between trust up and charity.
You guys aren't messing it all up, are you? I don't understand.
No, no, I'm on. For me, I'm
No, no,
following
no.
you. I'm on the same spreadsheet with you.
I'm on the same spreadsheet. I'm not typing anything. I'm just asking a question.
I don't understand what your question is, though. What is your question?
So my question is there so there's a difference between charity up and trust up, right?
Of course, there's a difference. So if you go to our notes here, we have
Charity
got
up.
co-op, charity orb, activity unity trust, and then we're doing this new one, the trust orb sim. We'll just say trust orb sim. Okay. We'll
Okay.
call it Trust Orb Sim. So Trust Orb Sim is going to oversee all of our assets in trust, and there's just a
Yes.
lot more money there. So Activity Unity has
Mm-hmm.
like no money at all, basically, and Trust Orb Sim has a lot of money, but not a lot of money to hire us. But there's not a lot of work, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
might be able to have like $500 a month for that to do, or per quarter, per month or per quarter to do the work. But there's so little work done, we can get paid a lot of money for that work. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, Jay.
All right, so now we go into um, column. So column B is fine, column C is fine, column E is fine. So now we're going to column G, is the estimated total hours per year. So with our new estimates, and we also need to update and index this information. I know you all are not the best at indexing, so I will just do it myself. So time calcs go here, and the money calcs go here. Okay. All right, so that brings us to the time calc. So for time, we are doing
Please stop.
activity
Close
unity
your
trust
eyes.
3,000
Count.
hours.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we're
Open your
changing
eyes.
the 4,000 to 3,000. So this will increase the value for everything. Okay, so then you can see here for line 28, 29, and 30, all of these things related to the tokens are going to go up in value substantially. Also, anything related to like this one here on line 21, this is going to be
Mm-hmm.
Umbrella Media Company, UMC. So because this, anything related to multimedia is going to get much more valuable as well. All right, so let's make sure, is there any, did you guys see anything else related to multimedia? So anything multimedia is going to change big time. And anything related to tokens is going to change big time as far as the value goes. So like this one right here for Co-op 2.0 website, this
Mm-hmm.
Co-op 2.0 website is going to go up in value substantially as well. Because once we get the Umbrella Media Company, anything related to websites, anything related to social media,
Mm-hmm.
outreach, improvement, everything that's related to communicating with the public is going to go
Mm-hmm.
up in value. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah. In relationship to the client. Okay, so that's going to be very, very important to note, and that we're going to want to fix all of those as soon as we get those contracts set up. Okay, so let's go to Charity Orb. So Charity Orb, we said, is 1,500. In here it says 1,500 already. So then we have the co-op. In co-op we changed to 4,500. We're going to go from 5,000 to 4,500. So that's going to increase the value of everything because the less time, the less time there is, the more value. And then we have the trust orb. So the trust orb we decided was going to be 1,000 hours.
Yes.
Okay. So I change it 1,000.
So these are all estimates on the number of hours, and over time we'll be able to get more and more closer to the detailed estimates. Okay, so before we go on, let's take a minute to explain to Ate the fund multiplier, because this is extremely important and kind of exciting. So I'll just copy and paste this into our notes so you can look at it.
Okay.
So let's go to line 60 in the
Let me go
notes.
to the 60. Mm-hmm.
60. Okay, so this is what's called the
Time
client.
to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
All right, let me explain this really quick and then we'll take a break. So basically,
Okay.
our old model was 4%. Do you remember the 4% of Jurison? Like we are supposed to be within 4% to meet our needs in
Yes.
relation to being in the red or whatever.
Yes,
So we're
just
always over. We always spend more money than we're supposed to spend, and it's destroying the client. So the idea is instead of saying, okay, there's a specific cap on the amount of money that we can spend, we're saying there's going to be a range. So the range is anywhere from 1% to 10%. But the available money is all determined by the type of work. So if we want to do anything we want to, we can spend up to 1% of the money. But then for our normal, just administrative work would go to 2%. 3% would be getting into government work, taxes, financial money organizing, all the more legal work that
mm-hmm.
needs to be done. And then once we get into 4%, this would be like where we start bringing income in,
Mm-hmm.
so that coordination, client info,
Grand asset.
all that kind of stuff, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
we want to start spending more than 4%, we need to really be doing direct fundraising. So direct income work, fundraising, and actually trying to bring in money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So things like grants and potential future income, asset management is sort of a roll in the dice. We don't know that's actually going to bring in money, right? Even asset management, yes, it has brought in money in the past, but at the same time, it's no guarantee we're going to make money every month on that because sometimes the markets go down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're working on direct funding and actually bringing in money, we can start spending more money. And then if we have something that we know will bring in money, and this is something that we can easily do and we get better at it, then we can start spending even more money, like going to 6% and even 7-8% for when we know there's better returns on the investment, right? So the idea here is like we're allowed to spend more than the 4%, but when we go into spending more money, we need to be focusing on priorities that directly relate to us making money. Does that make sense?
Yes, Chair.
So that's so these calculations are extremely um, high level. So if you go back to the spreadsheet, you'll see on every single item, it says what the multiplier fund value is. And I'm actually experimenting with even going to values that are, you know, 0.5, like 4.5% or 0.33%, just like thinking about values that maybe aren't the exact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that we can actually have more of a spectrum and bring in a little bit more for things that were just are kind of in between, you know. So it just gives a really good
Mm-hmm.
scale on the importance of the work and the available money. So if something has a higher probability of bringing in more money, then we can immediately be spending more money on it within the actual budgets, and that's automatically calculated in. So it's really cool.
And yeah.
So basically, you're taking the total value of
Mm-hmm.
the expected hours multiplied by the value of the work that's being done, and then multiplying that by the total number of hours for the actual work so that you can calculate how much money is actually left. So let's take a break, and then we're going to go to column N and make sure the estimated amount of money available is correct. Okay. And then
Okay,
from
let's
there,
take a break.
everything
Okay,
is
Chair.
be calculated correctly after that. Cool.
Okay.
such a happy doggy. Hey, you're such a happy doggy.
End of break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, I'm back.
I'm back as well.
I'm here as well.
All right. So now we're putting in the money. So for Unity, Activity Unity Trust, we said $4,000.
Yes.
So this one's going to go down, so that's going to reduce all the calculations for that. And we know that the line 26 through 30 is going to go up in value, but we can't change that until we finalize the contract. We really need to finalize the contract
Mm-hmm.
because right now we don't have access to that money. All right, so then we have Charity Orb. So I think 9,500.
9,000.
9,500, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Then we have SFC. What do you put for that? We said for the co-op, $4,200. So we need to get for that $2,100. We're going to need to get like a loan. So that's a proposal. So someone could write out that proposal for like an investment, and we need to do the investment tokens and stuff. So that's a bit of an issue. But also, we have another proposal to freeze all internal operations in the payroll.
Mm-hmm.
So
What do you mean by freeze? No payment? Or how?
well, let's just take a moment on these proposals because these are pretty important. Let's see if we have any other.
Okay, I'm writing that proposal to do all investment.
Okay, so line 73 is the proposal to freeze all internal operation payments from current payrolls.
Okay.
And then we have proposal to. So this proposal would be more like
Time to pause. Please stop.
to
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I will say $500, right? Up to $500. Um, with I don't know, like a double token reward. So I don't know. The idea is like to give a quick $500 double token investment reward. Mainly the details on this would that be, we do not have the tokens ready to distribute. So if we had the tokens, we would do just normal investment or whatever. So this would be helpful to get the quick money and actually be able to do that.
Mm.
So
I don't understand when you say we get 500 double token reward. What does that mean? That every person should get
if we take, so our
500?
options are either doing a loan, right, or we can do an investment. So I think the investment's better because we don't really want to do loans, and loans are against policy, right? So if we take an investment, then we need to distribute the investment token, but we haven't even done our past investment token. So the idea would be to give a reward of an extra um, 3 times the value to incentivize the investor to invest the $300. Does that make sense?
Expected, maybe.
Does that make sense? No.
Mm, to me, no, no, no. I don't really understand.
All right. Anyways, we can work it out later. But do you understand the idea of freezing all the internal operations payments?
Mm, no.
So
Yeah.
the bottom line here is that we need money, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have money in the
Yes.
co-op. We're broke,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to pay all these payrolls. So if we didn't have to pay all these payrolls, we would have plenty of money for starting our new internal operations model. But to get the new operations model started, we need to create a new internal operations pool of money that we can assign for the deliverables. Because right now, you don't actually have to complete anything to actually get the internal operation money. And we're going to be changing that. So all of our internal operations money, just like everything else, is tied to deliverables work. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to find money. So there's 3 ways to find money right now. One is that we can use my
Time for
past tokens.
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So we could do a loan. So there's 4 options. There's a loan. There's using my tokens. There's the investment bonus. I'm doing an investment, or we need to get to save all the money we currently have from our internal operations and get that calculated and use the money we currently have, which is basically saying that okay, we're going to stop paying everybody to not do the work and save the last $100 that we have in our internal operations pool to actually apply to our future model. That makes sense?
Okay. Are you talking of the money of the ESCO?
No, this is not escrow money. This is internal operations money.
Like the payrolls and the budget?
Yeah, so there are payrolls split up into 3 parts. You have internal operations, you have the client work, and then you have the
Mm-hmm.
escrow. And we're proposing splitting that up into also, adding the communications and the multimedia. But
Ouch.
overall, we have money in the co-op. There's like over $1,000 in the co-op, but we're probably going to blow through all that with our payroll without actually completing the work. So the proposal to freeze the internal operations payments from the payrolls is saying like, wait a second, we need money to be able to function, at least a small amount of money. We don't need all of the money. We just need a small amount of money to get started with our new internal operations model based on deliverables. Right? So we need to get that money from somewhere. We either need to get it from the existing money that we have in the co-op, or we need to get it from an investment, or um, a loan.
Okay.
So that will
You
start
get it? Or-
from 157 degree.
No, it's starting for next month. We're
Okay.
working
That's
on the budget
nine
for.
degree.
Let's look up the
Ah,
budget
okay, okay.
number for next month. So this is
Please let me switch to my phone. My computer is going off.
all right. I'm looking up the Selene moon date. So next month is March, April. No, next month is February, March.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we're currently in January, February. Okay, and this is the last month that we're going to have the old model. Okay, so this is the first month we're doing Co-op 2.0, right? But the first month of Co-op 2.0 only added deadlines. The second month of Co-op 2.0, we're ending the model of just doing whatever you want to for time and then estimating, average everything out. And now we're going to a deliverables model where you only get paid to complete the work. So that starts
So
next
that
month, and that's going to be
oh,
February, March. And that's the 191 degree.
okay.
Yes, 191. Okay. Are you guys getting me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, Jay.
So for
It's okay
next
now.
month,
I'm clear.
what we need is we need money for our internal operations, right? We don't have any money
Mm-hmm.
in the co-op. We need to get money. So what I'm estimating right now is I'm estimating an investment or a value of about if you go up to line 52. So on live 52 for the co-op, we're estimating $350.
Mm-hmm. To co-op.
If you multiply that by 12 months, that's
4,200.
$4,200 estimate because everything in the client budgets are all budgeted yearly. So let's say we wanted to do 2 months. If we did 2 months, we would have $2,100. We'd only have $2,000 because we'd switch it from 12 to 6. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the lower down we go, the less months we put, the less money we have, but the more savings that we'll have. And that's what we eventually want to do is get to the client level where we're coordinating and planning every year instead of just month by month. So right now, as an organization, we're month to month, right? We're spending all our money every month. That makes sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jay.
Which is fine for now, but eventually we can talk about actually saving money and getting independent from the clients. But we need to do fundraising, we need to get investments, and eventually, my hope is that the co-op will actually be independent from the clients, and it can actually start hiring other people in other groups to actually, be doing work. So, anyways, the point here is that we are estimating $350, but we don't actually have this $350.
Time to stretch. Please stop.
Does that make
Stand up
sense?
and stretch your
Yes,
legs
Yes.
Jay.
out for 30 seconds.
So that's why we have these proposals, is that we need to get agreement on where that $350 is coming from so that we have the $300, because otherwise we can't get agreement on the budget for the internal operations. So we're doing a quick stretch.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Jesus. All right. So now that brings us to the next one, which is the what's this? Community achievement. Yeah. Okay. So now we have the trust orb. So the trust orb, we said there's only $1,500, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also only 1,000. I feel like we should go higher than $1,500. Let's do at least $2,500. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
$2,500 seems more reasonable. Okay, cool. All right. So that is all correct now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see the totals. So the totals are around $600 for the budget. Okay. For the worker payroll. And
More than two.
the
Yes.
overall total is that's like really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very strange. So I feel like there's something wrong here. So this should be, it says W3. That's wrong. So this should be X3, normal work value.
93.
Because we don't actually want that. Is X3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're looking at only like $265 of payroll income and $442 of normal work oversight value. Because I think we calculated the wrong thing before, or I did. So this is double check. So this is normal work and oversight value. The number of times. Oh wait, we have to multiply it by the number of times though. So we have normal work oversight
Time to
value
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes.
times.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Oh, I remember how we did this. So this would be worker estimated. This is not worker. This is bus estimated monthly income. So this is going to be multiplying the total max value times the normal percentage work. I think that is correct. So then that gives us $773 and $440 of payroll. So $440 of payroll is still way, 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 way too low. So what we need to do is we need to fix this, right? I don't know what our goal is for payroll, but we can easily estimate that. If we go back to the notes, we would have to, question mark. What is our goal for payroll, for the month? So we know we might need to actually cut the budget, but basically we already have a lot less people than we did before. So there's myself. Well, we're going to ignore me for now. So we're going to focus on just the worker payroll, goal for worker payroll. So we have Ate, we have Lucy, we've got.
Martins.
We don't really need to worry about Mamoon because he's in co-op. Co-op 1.0 is Mamoon, which is going to be his entire budget and payroll is going to be done separately and differently because he's not in co-op 2.0. So we have Martine. Martine, we've got Jeremy
Lucy,
and Sandra. I think that's it,
are
right?
you guys getting me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I might be going off some minutes from now. Everything is
Okay.
crying. Peep, 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 peep already.
Oh, you're
Wow.
going to disappear?
Yeah, all my gadgets are already crying. Low battery.
It'll be fine. But thanks for at least getting updated and all this stuff.
It's
So
okay.
how much
I'll
does
show
everybody want? What would be our estimated amount of money that people want to make?
maybe 200 for me.
200. Lucy?
Same.
200, right. So let's say Martine's is less, Jeremy is less, Sandra is less, HR board would be 10% of the total.
Yeah.
So if we do a sum of this.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale.